And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your life. And when everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you'd feel me somehow. You're the closest heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. Can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your life. And when everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you'd feel me somehow. You're the closest heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. and sooner or later it's over. I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your life. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. And when everything's meant to be broken, and I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. And I just want you to know who I am. But I've been living.
Well, this is what we've all been waiting for. And I'm happy, very happy to say the time has arrived. Hello and welcome to the back of the 18th green at beautiful Harbor Town. And I don't know about you, but I can't imagine a more gorgeous setting. And it's absolutely incredible, especially for something like this, which is very, very special. Hello, my name is Greg, and I'm fortunate enough to call these two very good friends, as well as their families, and I couldn't be more honored, thrilled actually, to have been asked to do this evening. It's pretty awesome, I gotta tell you. We're here today to celebrate one of life's greatest moments, the the joining of two extraordinary people who were fortunate enough to find each other. Liza Margaret Rackley, also known as Lulu to her friends and family, and Thomas Fair Hardie, believe it or not, also known as Tutu, mainly to his family and a handful of friends. But it's pretty awesome. Today they will be making promises to love and support one another as they make their way through life together. I must say that being able to do that with your true love, your one and only, has got to be about as special as life gets. As most of us know, love at its core is not always about the big, grand gestures. It's really more about the little things that we do for each other, like empty the dishwasher, or sending a text saying, "I'm thinking of you." Or maybe even giving Willow a bath when it's not your turn. It's really about being with someone that knows all of your quirks, all of your silly habits, and still chooses you every single time. Today, Liza and Tom are not just saying, "I love you." They're saying, "I trust you, I respect you, and I'll do anything for you." Even when you might be hangry and there's nothing in the fridge, which I suspect will never happen as long as Chrissy is around. So their story began about 5 years ago when they were both attending Florida Gulf Coast University. As the tale goes, Liza and Tom first met through a mutual friend at a local hangout in Fort Myers. Liza, being brave, I know we're shocked, introduced herself. Tommy thought she was pretty hot. Those are his words to me, okay? And then he tried to play it cool like Tommy does by saying something like, "Oh, hey." Head not included. She thought he was very cute too, very nice, but Liza, being Liza, had a pretty good feeling he might just be playing hard to get. Anyway, it actually made her want to get to know him even that much more. Nice job, big man. Not long after that, they had their first official date on Bonita Beach docks, which is another nice hangout, and they've been joined at the hip ever since. In fact, it was only after a few weeks together that they both secretly, privately, started to think that maybe, just maybe, I had found my lobster. Well, now we've come to the vows. Before we begin, though, I'd urge you to take a moment and look around and soak this all in as best you can. This amazing venue, both of your beautiful families, all your closest friends. They're all here to celebrate you. Just you. On probably what is going to be one of the biggest days of your lives. I hope you'll remember this and treasure this forever. Liza and Tom, today you stand before your loved ones to make the most profound commitment two people can make to one another, the vow of marriage. Please remember that your vows are not just promises, they're living commitments to be kind and honest and completely devoted to each other for the rest of your lives. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
Ready.
Let's go. Do you, Liza Rackley, take Thomas Hardie to be your loving husband?
I do.
Hold on, girl.
I'm excited.
I know, it's okay. Okay, we can't skip to the end yet. To love and to cherish, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, be faithful to him. And Liza, finally, do you promise to watch any and all of his high school football videos whenever he wants, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
There we go. Do you, Thomas Hardie, take Liza Rackley to be your loving wife, to love and to cherish, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, be faithful to her? And finally, Tommy, do you promise to never live more than 5 miles away from her parents for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Excellent.
I heard it. I heard that.
May I have the rings, please? Thank you, Will.
Sir.
Liza, I'm going to give this one to you first. These rings are a symbol of the commitment Liza and Tom are making to one another today. They're simple, enduring, and without end. Liza, now you can repeat. Liza, please repeat after me, and then place this ring on Tom's left ring finger. Tom, I give you this ring
Tom, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
now and forever.
now and forever.
Beautiful. Tommy? Tommy, please repeat after me and then place this ring on Liza's left ring finger. Liza, I give you this ring
Liza, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
now and forever.
now and forever.
Don't hurt her.
There you go.
It's Hilton Head humidity.
There we
Come
go.
on.
Perfect. Oh, I know. I know.
Liza and Tom, Lulu and Tutu. Marriage is not defined by just one thing. It's the culmination of everyday choices to listen and to care for each other as you experience all that life has to offer. May you always continue to choose one another with only love and kindness in your hearts. So now, having exchanged your vows and rings, and by the power vested in me by this great state of South Carolina and the internet, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may share a kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, I give you the Hardies.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my very distinct pleasure to introduce, for the second time today, our newlyweds, the new Mr. and Mrs. Hardie. Keep it going, everybody. Keep it going for our newlyweds one more time.
of emerald and white, more precious than gold. Hands as soft as the sand, but harder to hold. Tonight could be the last time your heartbeat and mine are ever this close. But life can cut like a knife, that's just how it goes. But till the day I die, I will dream of you in a million lives. You're the one I choose. Sounds of gathering clouds are all that I hear. Just days of permanent grey since you disappeared. But till the day I die, I will dream of you in a million lives. You're
one more time, please make a little extra noise for our newlyweds, the new Mr. and Mrs. Hardie, everybody.
Gracious God, we are all here today because of you, and I thank you so much for bringing us together to celebrate Liza and Tom. Thank you so much for the food we're about to eat and the hands that have prepared it. May it nourish our bodies so that we may be a bright light for you. Bless our time together tonight and get us all home safely tomorrow. Amen.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I've died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for our stunning bride and her father.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roll. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true.
this time I want to invite everybody out there to join that handsome man and his lovely mother. Let's get this party started, everybody. Dance off some of those calories. Don't go anywhere, Tutu. You stay right there. You stay right there. Bring your bride out there with you. We're going to get this party started right now. Come on out there, everybody. Join the newlyweds. We're going to celebrate tonight, baby. Come on.
Welcome to Harbortown. This is the Rackleys' favorite place to be in the whole planet. And we just absolutely love it here. We've created so many wonderful memories with a lot of people that are in this room, but none more than special than tonight. And just love it here. I want to thank Jen and Simon for a wonderful evening last night. They have told us so many years of stories about their great friends, and we finally got to put the name and the faces with everybody, and I feel like we've known you guys forever. And I wasn't going to add this, but when Tommy and Liza finally came down the aisle, the four of us huddled up, and we're just like cheering each other on. I mean, I feel like we've known each other forever. They're just awesome. I also want to thank the grandparents. We have Dan and Mary Jane. My father-in-law, Frank, and my beautiful mother, Mary Ann. I want to thank Greg Norton for a wonderful service. He's actually started a website since we've left here, wedding.com. He's going to do this professionally. You got him signed, sealed, and delivered, brother. Legally. Thank you. Most of all, I want to thank my wife, Chrissy. Chrissy is the CEO of the Rackley family. Everything begins and ends. She's given, and I mean this, she is so dedicated to our daughters and to me, and she just is the most wonderful person in the world. I love you. So a few years ago, we're having a party in Fort Myers at the house we lived in, and that's what we Rackleys tend to do, have a party. And right before the party starts, Liza comes into the kitchen, and she says, Dad, I invited this boy, and I really like him. Can you be serious? And I'm standing next to Jerry Auld, who's here, Jerry at. I'm standing next to Jerry Auld, and Liza bouts off to the front door because obviously they're on some. She knows he's coming, and I'm like, Jerry, what? Everybody's dressed up nice, I mean, is she telling me to be serious for sure? Or does she want me to be me? I don't know what she. So we took our shirts off. So here comes Tommy for the first time we ever met him. He comes around the kitchen, and he looks at me. Jerry and I have our dad bods, rocking our dad's bods. Two guys that should never have a shirt off. And he starts dying laughing, and Liza's like, thanks, Dad. I think I knew in that moment this young man had just walked into our lives forever. Now on to the loo. And this last part, it didn't occur to me till this afternoon. You're kind of sitting down, you're thinking about what you're going to say, and I'm like, I wasn't that serious about it. And then Charlotte talked last night and just freaking knocked the ball out of the park. I'm like, oh my God, just like, Rackley's got to up our game here because the Hardies have brought it. So the loo, we had Christy and I had this commercial building in our hometown, and we'd rented this out. We kind of set it up, and this wonderful Asian couple had rented it from years and years, and they had this, kind of upscale Chinese, restaurant, but the Grace and Louie, and the chef's name was Louie. So when Liza was like 2 or 3, Laura's like teasing her one day, and she's like, "You're just like a little Louie." So he called her the Lou. And I don't even know how that stuck, but she's the Lou, and she's always been the Lou. And then Jen's telling me tonight that Tutu has always been the Tutu. So Lulu and the Tutu. So we come down to Hilton Head. Oh, God, Liza was 20-some years ago. And these trail behind bikes, they had these, your dad's driving the bike, and they got this trail behind bike. And I'm like, pulling and telling me, "Oh my God, I got to get that. That's freaking awesome." So Liza, I know she was really, really young, but I got one anyway, and they put her helmet on, and her helmet covered her eyes. And I said, "Lou, just hold on, because Mom's going to yell at us." But we rode all over the place, and we rode for the next, 10 years. And Liza and I have ridden thousands, and with Laura, thousands of miles on these trails. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful place to raise your kids and be here on vacation with all your friends. So, Liza, I know what you're going to say because I have this letter in my hand. And what the rest of you may not know is Laura got married last year. And Laura, stand up real quick. She just delivered a baby 2 weeks ago. Our first grandchild, Parker's here in Sea Pines, being watched by some dear, by who else? His grandfather, his other grandfather. So in my hand is a letter, Liza, that I wrote, and this letter is stamped, postmarked July 2003, to the address you lived in at 5215 2nd Avenue, Vienna, West Virginia, with a 37-cent stamp. And the reason Liza knows this is because what I've done for my daughters, for some reason on their birthdays, I always wrote them a letter. And unfortunately, Liza knew early on, because Laura got married last year, what was going to happen. But these are 16 letters. And they're all postmarked to you, Liza, at the house you lived in. And they're for you to read whenever you get to the point, hopefully later. But what you don't know is when Laura read her letters, Laura had kind of created a scrapbook for Chrissy and I. And she took a couple months, and when it came back to us, and it took us, I said, "Chrissy, did you read the letters?" She said, "I couldn't get through them." And there was just an overtone to these letters and to your life that I can just testify to today, that the houses and the cars and all the things you think are important aren't important. What is important are your friends and family that are here today. And I just can't thank you guys enough for getting to Hilton Head and sharing this special moment with us. And Liza and Tom, I tell you right now, when it's your turn to stand up here, I hope you can look out at the most wonderful friends and family that we have. And I wish you all to raise your glass to toast this beautiful couple. I love you both. Tom and Liza.
I believe we have Laura next.
Oh. Uh-oh. Right there.
Thank you, man. That was awesome. Love you, man.
Alrighty. So similar to my dad, my story actually starts in 2002 when Liza was born. Chrissy and Mark led me to believe that I was going to be an only child for 5 wonderful years. And then broke the news that Liza Surprise was coming. I was like, great little sister. Even though now I regret what I initially thought about you, the younger years of us together were a little rocky. I promise I'm not going to embarrass you too much. And if you were to give me this opportunity at 10 years old, it probably would have been a different speech. But Liza was kind of a sticky child. She was very sticky. She always drank sweet tea out of a sippy cup. That was kind of her meal of choice. And she would spill it everywhere. And I was always like, Mom, like, you gotta clean her up. Like, she's just sticky all the time. And then, as most little sisters do, Liza wanted to do everything with me all the time. So I have one story that I'll share, and then I promise I'm not gonna embarrass you too much more. But one time, all the kids in the neighborhood were jumping on the trampoline. And my mom said, hey, bring your sister Liza. I'm like, okay, she's not sticky today, so she can come, whatever. So we get to the trampoline, and everybody's jumping like up and down. It's fun, right? And all of a sudden, I noticed Liza doesn't have any underpants on. And she wore a skirt. So Liza was the hit of the neighborhood that day, but I vowed that she was never coming on the trampoline with me again. But amazingly, I went to WVU back one semester, and I came back, and Liza was like a full-blown adult. Like, she had makeup on, she was texting a boyfriend, she was joling. I know there's like some med school people here, so I promise you, she does not jol anymore. That was a bad habit, that was phase. But where Liza and I really got close was when I actually moved to Fort Myers. So Liza went to school at FGCU. I kind of copied her. It was COVID. It was a weird time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go down there and work. Chrissy doing her voodoo that she does, making sure everybody's kind of in the same 5-mile vicinity. She was thrilled with it, so it all worked out. And things were going good. You know, it was fun. I got to live with my sister again. It was like a childhood. And all of a sudden, this like really loud guy starts coming around. He was 6'5". He left his socks everywhere, and they all have holes in them. They were never clean. They were never washed. And he ate like all the groceries, like all the time. Like, we had no groceries. So in the spirit of tonight, I don't know if Liza and Tom know that I have this, but there is a text thread between Tom and Liza from December of 2021. And they're talking about how mean I am because I was very mean to Tom. And I figured I would just read it for you guys tonight, just, you know, to go down memory lane. So, December 17th, 2021, 12:08 p.m., Liza says to Tom, did you eat all of Laura's pretzels? I'll say it was me, but did you? A couple minutes later, Tom replies, yes, please say it was you. A couple more minutes pass. Dude, she's pissed. She just slammed the front door. Liza said, don't worry about it, it's just her mannerisms. But all jokes aside, Tom, you're actually not that bad. You're pretty cool. And you're really the brother I never had. You annoy the crap out of me. I know we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but you're also corporate, so we share that. We share our own crappy golf game from time to time, and I've really enjoyed you the last 5 years. 5 years. And truth be told, I would not pick anybody else for my sister. So I'll end on one thing, and obviously Dad talked about the letters, and I highly recommend you read them a couple times, over and over again. But one thing he talks about is the importance of sticking together, because obviously a lot of family dynamics can happen. You know, people can move, not on Chrissy's account, but people do from time to time, and things can happen. But I want to promise you tonight on this stage, and I know this is weird that I'm getting sentimental, but I promise I will always be in your life, and yours too. And as much as Jimmy and I annoy you guys and drive you crazy, we will always be in your corner. I love you guys. Cheers to Tom and Liza.
That is so funny. It's just her mannerisms is an incredible reply. So good.
Good evening, everybody. First off, I want to say props to Mark Reckley. I watched him put the glass down right there and not kick it over. And that's when I knew mine would go right over here. Good evening, and thank you all for coming to celebrate Tom and Liza starting a new chapter of their lives. I want to start out by thanking the Rackley family and my parents for putting this all together and bringing us all here. When my brother and I were younger, my mom would call him Tommy Tutu. It had fizzled out over the years. Tom became 6'5" and 230 pounds, and tutu was no longer sufficient. That was until he met Liza. When I first heard they call one another Tutu and Lulu, I thought, what the hell has he gotten himself into? However, when I met Liza, it was evident that the two of them complement one another in every which way possible. They're a match made in heaven, and Tutu and Lulu have been inseparable ever since. I've had the pleasure of watching both Tutu and Lulu grow side by side as a couple and professionally. It has been amazing to watch Liza work so hard to pursue her career towards becoming a doctor, while Tom dedicates his time to becoming a better golfer. Mind you, this is all in preparation if you talk to Tom for an early retirement. Tom, I am beyond proud of the man that you're becoming, and Liza, it is incredible to watch you grow as Tom's caretaker, and that the day has officially come to welcome you into our family and call you a sister-in-law. Again, thank you all for being here, and lastly, I'd like to raise a glass to the new Mr. and Mrs. Hardie. Cheers.